Thank you all for coming. Hi, Nyeesha.
Hey, hey, hey.
Can you hear me?
I can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good.
How are you? You look so pretty.
Trying to get my camera together.
Yeah,
I'm
get
working.
yourself together. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this live tonight. So, yes, Nyeesha you're a bunch of things. You're a mental health advocate, you own a business, you have so much in your bio. Literally can't even remember everything. So, tell the audience, um, tell the audience what you do and who you are.
Okay, well, I am a mental wellness practitioner. I have my degree in psychology. I've been doing a lot of for the past 5 years. I've been focusing on mental health. My focus is cognitive behavioral therapy. Teaching my clients how to shift their mindset from negative to positive.
That's what that is?
Um,
Okay.
yes, it is. Um, oh my goodness, I'm a life coach, a certified life coach. I recently got
Nice.
my yoga license, yoga teacher license, with a
Wow.
focus on trauma informed therapy and yoga nidra. So I'm really big on helping our community, the BIPOC community particularly,
I
release
see.
their trauma in a healthy way, and
Nice.
create these strategies and tactics so they can continue to live on in the most healing way possible.
All right. So tell us about Oasis and Serenity. That's your
Okay.
business too, right?
Yeah, so Serenity and Oasis
Serenity and
is
Oasis. Yeah.
a wellness incubator where we focus on mothers and their allies in the BIPOC community, where we create these strategies and tactics. There's mental health professionals, wellness practitioners, and business executives. They all come together to create these strategies to help the whole individual heal. So that's
Wow.
personal growth and professional growth, because what we tend to forget is they're directly correlated. So if you're not right personally, your business is not going to be right professionally, whether you're working for someone or you have your own business as an entrepreneur, solopreneur. If your mind is not right,
I know.
um, how are you going to show up for
It
your
won't work
business?
out.
Right,
Yep.
right.
Yep. So you help. So with that business, you help other like entrepreneurs sort of reflect and sort of find their stressors that they can like alleviate.
Right. The biggest thing for me is finding out the why. Everyone wants to start a business, right? Everyone wants to have their own business. They want to have this LLC because that's the culture right now, right? The
Right.
great resignation. Let's get our own job. Let's have our own business. But
Yep.
the question is why? Why are you starting? Is this a passion, right? Are you coming from a place of fear or fortitude? And understanding what that why is, um, then we can better assist in making sure that your business evolves in a manner in which you will want and the community will want.
Right. That's kind of a good point. It kind of is the it thing right now to sort of quit your job and start your side hustle and start your business. Everyone's kind of doing it, but it's not for everyone. Being a business owner is not easy
It's
at
not easy
all.
at all, right? And that's why it's so important to figure out the why. Like, why are you doing this, right? For me, I am a survivor, so it was really important for me. Sexual assault. I was a teenage
Ooh.
mom.
Mm.
Um, so many different things, right?
Yeah.
My story is very lengthy when it comes to speaking about negativity or trauma. So I wanted to make
Mm.
sure that I was able to pour into the lives of other individuals who may not have that support system, similar to how I feel like I didn't have a support system growing up. So
Mm.
that is my biggest why. That was probably my first. And that's why I started my nonprofit organization, because I wanted to give to
Mm.
young girls what I felt like I didn't have. And it just expanded.
To give back, yeah. So you sort of use your traumas and hardships as your testimony to create something good
Exactly.
for others that might have went through the same thing as you.
Yes.
That's the best thing to do when you go through something so traumatic, is to sort
Mm-hmm.
of create something out of that traumatic event and help others that went through the same thing. So
Right. Right.
yeah.
And it's therapeutic. You know,
Mm.
not only are you assisting people outside of yourself, but you're finding a healing space for yourself as well.
Right.
So, the initial goal was to help these young girls between the ages of 11 through 19. But what I later learned was the more and more I was doing it, I was helping that 11-year-old Nyeesha, right? I was helping that
Oh,
16-year-old Nyeesha. Showing up for them
right,
allowed me to show up for myself. It was very
right,
therapeutic.
right. Wow, wow. That's so inspirational. Really, that's very
Thank
inspirational.
you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, with you having all these initiatives and your business to help others with their mental health, their traumas, now I'm going to turn the attention on you to find out
Woo!
to find out how you deal with stress and how you what self-care and wellness means in your life. So
Okay.
here are the questions. Okay,
All
so now we ask the
right.
questions everyone, part of this wellness check-in and self-care talk series. So the first question is, how do you find time to hit pause on life and tend to yourself?
Really good question. How do I find time?
Take your time.
And I don't need that much. Let me tell you why. Um, it's almost I'm almost addicted to the idea of self care, right?
Mm,
So finding time is not difficult. If you would have asked me maybe 10 years ago, I would have stumbled on a question like, yeah, how do I find time? But the reality is, I make time, and there's a difference,
yeah,
right? I
great
don't
answer.
find it, I'm not trying to search for it in my chaotic week. I'm
Mm,
allotting time, right? I'm making time to
making
show up
time.
for myself in that week.
Right.
So to answer your question, finding time is just knowing the power of showing up for self. And for me, it's just making that a daily, weekly, monthly job. That is a part of every single thing that I do in life
Yeah.
is turning back to self.
So when you say you make time, do you literally create the time in your schedule, and then when that time comes, you're like, okay, I'm not responding to any other emails. This is my time, or do you just randomly, when you're feeling stressed out, that's when you
Both.
make the time?
So
Okay.
both. I'm really big on scheduling, very, very meticulous. Like
Mm,
I did a reel some weeks ago. If it's not on the schedule, it doesn't exist. And that's
mm,
something that I live by. Like
that's good.
there's a calendar right behind me. If it's not scheduled, if I didn't approve of it, it's not going to happen. And that's the
Right.
way that I keep my sanity, right? But when
Mm,
I wake up in the morning, there's, there's journaling time, there's meditation time, there's
yep.
positive affirmations in the mirror. There's just a moment of pause, right?
Yep.
And then if because I'm a mother of three, because I own businesses, because I'm doing so many different things, it may not be able to happen because I may have to tend to my children, right? But after doing that again, I have to make time because if I'm not in a safe space, in a healthy space, how am I going to continue to pour into my
You
children?
can't be
How am I,
productive.
right, right.
Yep.
So yeah, it starts off as a schedule, but if the schedule goes off on a tangent, I have to make the time to show up for
Mm.
myself.
Right. Yeah. Because if you're not, pouring into your own cup, you're not going to be able to pour into other people's cups. You're not going to be able
Right,
to be productive enough and be in the right headspace to tend to your businesses, tend to
right,
others,
right,
completing your goals. So
right.
self-care time is equally as productive as responding to emails
Everything
and
else?
everything else. Exactly. Exactly.
Right. I'm a really big fan of the word no. And
Mm,
because of experiencing so much trauma in my youth, I didn't want to tell anyone no because I was afraid that I was going to disappoint, or I was afraid
yeah.
that they were going to leave, or, so many, a list of reasons on why I chose not to say no.
Right.
But saying no to others respectfully and saying yes to myself shifted the whole paradigm of my life,
Mm,
right? Because how am I going to continue to show up for everyone? I just was depleting myself, right?
mm.
Um, if I say I love you, I have to love myself first because I
First.
can't love myself, not love myself, and love you effectively. So
Right.
I have to make sure that I'm loving on me, right,
Yourself
in the healthiest
first.
way so I can effectively love you.
Yep. That was a
Yeah,
great answer.
so no is
Right.
no, no,
Right.
no.
And also that self-love aspect also ties in with your relationship with others. If you don't love yourself, you're not gonna have the ability to teach others how to love you and
Love
what you
you.
like and don't like.
Right.
So it
And
all
if you're
ties in.
com-
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry. If you're
No,
coming from
yeah.
a place of wanting to love, right? I think it's best to really ask yourself if you genuinely want to love on someone, right? Um, you have to ask yourself, are you genuinely loving on yourself?
So,
Because it's a
yep,
reflection, right?
yep.
I can't, if I want to love you to the best of my capability, I have to make sure that I'm loving on myself to the best of my capability.
I agree. I
That's just
agree.
it.
That was a great answer, Nyeesha.
Thank you.
That was one of the most in-depth answers I ever heard, really.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I feel pressure.
But yes, the power of saying no, you guys, especially if you're an entrepreneur, because being an entrepreneur, it takes a lot of energy and time, just literally building and scaling your business. So,
Right.
power of saying no. If you don't feel like going out that night, a friend asks you out, say no. If you don't, you're really not in a good headspace to do that Zoom meeting, say no and schedule it
Um,
next week.
right.
That's really how you have to be.
Right. I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Unapologetically, right? Like,
Hmm.
and
Good point.
understanding when you're talking about saying no, you also have to understand that a period comes right after no. You do not have to explain that you are not in a good headspace at that
Yeah.
moment. You don't have to explain why you don't want to do it. And that's also ways that you can figure out who your tribe is and if your community is healthy. Because if I'm saying no, that I don't want to do it or I don't choose to do it, when you have people who don't respect and understand that it's important for you to be mentally um, in a good space mentally, they're not going to keep asking you why. Why don't you want to come? Why are you doing that? Oh, you're hurting my
Right.
feelings, right? So just saying no
I
and
agree.
understanding that that's a statement in itself.
Right. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Now, second question, what
Mhm.
does wellness mean to you?
What does wellness mean to me? So
This
wellness,
tends to be a hard question for most because it's such a broad, a broad
right?
topic.
Wellness for me changes as I change. The more I evolve, the definition alters.
Hmm.
So if you would have asked me what wellness was 2 years ago, that could have just been saying no, right?
Hmm.
Now, for me, what wellness is making sure that I consume healthier foods, right? That I work
Yeah.
out. So it's the root word, well. How am I choosing to be well? Right? And that it's like mental health. It's like healing. It's non-linear. It looks different for everyone, different times of their life. So for me, wellness currently is mind, body, soul,
So,
in unison.
mm, mm,
Yeah.
right. Jimmy, from the audience brings a good point. There are a lot of people who make you seem crazy for needing a mental health break. Yeah. I feel like that should be normal for like workplaces and school environments. If you're not feeling well mentally, it should be okay to ask for a mental health break. But I don't know if that's
I
happening.
mean, it's happening now.
Is
It
it?
wasn't. Yeah, it is. And this
Oh.
is why I'm telling you. This is why I believe it's happening now, especially because I am one of the founding coaches of a large SEL platform, which is social emotional learning. So we actually go
Hmm.
into these school systems and we speak about the benefit of social emotional learning and showing up for yourself
Hmm.
mentally, right? Understanding the power of emotions versus the academia, like how are you doing math correctly? Is your English correct? Is your grammar correct? I'm not
Right.
feeling well. I do not feel safe at home. I'm
Hmm.
getting bullied inside the school. And if
Hmm.
my emotions are not intact, I can't do any of these subjects. So none of this
Right.
matters. It doesn't mean that I'm incapable, right? It doesn't mean I'm incapable and I don't understand what you're teaching. but I can't show up for myself effectively at the moment because my emotions are difficult for me to process.
Right.
So I'm really happy where the topic of mental health is at the moment because it is expanding and it is allowing other people to practice empathy, which I
Right.
feel like
For
as a culture we
others.
lack. Like, we definitely
Oh,
lack.
yeah. And I also like how it's no longer a stigma to talk about mental health like it
Right,
was, say, maybe 5 years ago. It's
right,
sort of a popular topic now, like mental health, the importance of it, especially with so many suicides going on.
right.
You know that Chesley Crisco, the
Yes.
former Miss USA,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
high functioning depression. I
It's real.
recently just learned about that. Like it's so these kind of talks are so important. It's just if you don't prioritize your mental health, your well-being, stuff like that happens, you know?
Right,
So,
right. And that just goes back to making sure you have the community, right? Making sure that you have a tribe where you feel safe to unpack, right? Where you feel safe to be yourself and be your most authentic version of yourself.
right,
Jimmy, it is such a thing. So I would like for you to research high functioning depression because it can come off as if you are a hustler because that's what we use all the
right.
time, right? Oh no, I can juggle this, I can do that, I can take on this load. Oh, I can, work a 9 to 5 and become an entrepreneur. And
Mm,
it's like, what do you have without the attachments? Can you sit with yourself without this title, without this version of yourself, without this sport? And if you cannot sit with yourself without these extensions or these attachments, then we know that it's time for you to have some assistance
right.
outside of your friends.
Yeah, her mom said, Jimmy, that that's what she had. And she was literally an overachiever. She accomplished so much, was so successful. And you would think that would make like any person happy. All this success, people see me as a role model, but if you're not right mentally, it all of it doesn't mean nothing, you know?
But
So
if it's high functioning, these achievements mean nothing. It's not
exactly.
enough, right?
Mm,
So yeah, you can be Miss USA or yeah, you can receive this promotion, but gratitude and being in the moment, mindfulness is not something that you're practicing when you're high functioning. You don't understand the benefit of mindfulness at that moment, right?
yeah,
It's just you're on the wheel. I have to keep doing something because I don't feel full,
right. And that's probably how she felt.
right?
Yeah,
Fortunately, a lot of
yeah,
us, right? There's a lot of people who don't even realize that um, resting and silence is a form of reclaiming yourself, right? That is just as powerful as moving to rest.
literally. I always say that rest is equally as productive as
Right,
anything else you have to do in your schedule. Resting is
right,
also productive. And a
right.
lot of people don't think that way.
When you hear yourself saying or feeling, if I sit down, I'm being lazy, or if I sit down and take a break, I'm not being productive, you really have to question because that means you are not understanding the gist of rest and the
Right.
importance of rest. If you feel it, that means you need to do it.
Do it.
It's just
Right.
that simple, right? Listen
Yeah.
to your body. But and that's why I feel like we're at a better place with mental health because it's allowing people to listen to their bodies,
Right.
right?
I agree.
The power of somatic therapy and understanding that it shows up in your body. So when you have gut pains or when you have back pains or when your neck, you just like, why do I keep getting this, crack in my neck? That is trauma. Your body holds the score. Your body keeps the score. So yeah, you may not pass out, but it's showing up in certain ways inside of your body, letting you know that, all right, it's time to take a pause. Right?
Exactly. Yeah, and like for me, when I have like a backache from being on my laptop for like 8 hours a day, just being a business owner, I don't mind scheduling a massage, getting a Swedish back massage, because like you
Mhm.
said, the pain, any pain you feel, that's your body communicating with you, like something's
Right,
wrong, please fix this,
right,
like any
right,
pain you have. So, and
right,
right, your body tells you when it needs rest. So recharging, she, her, Shay, that's exactly what it is, recharging your body. Our
right.
bodies are just like batteries, like we run out of fuel, we run out of energy. So recharging, yep.
So
That's
I learned by my herbalist. So I'm really big on Ayurvedic medicine, having, consuming herbs and Reiki and everything of Eastern medicine.
mm,
So my herbalist taught me that making sure you go to bed by 11 p.m. is the
I
best.
can't do that. I'm
and
sorry.
then,
I'm a night owl.
and I felt the same way. But what happens is that's when your cells regenerate. That is the
Ooh.
time when your cells replenishes itself. So from
Oh,
11 p.m. to 4 a.m., you need to be at your most rested state so your body can be in motion and do what it's supposed to do. Me,
mm,
similar to you, I'm like, no, I gotta stay up because I have to submit and I have to do this and I have to. And
exactly.
it's like, if you just took that time to show up for you and
Mm,
say, no, this is what I'm going to do because it's the best thing for me, it just changes, right? Like if
yeah,
I can just say no for these few hours from 11 to 4, then all right, I can get up at 5. How many people are getting up at 5 o'clock submitting emails? How many people are getting at 5 o'clock and be in the sun to do whatever work you choose to do?
right.
So being a night owl, yes, I get it, but I mean, the early bird gets the worm, right?
I didn't even know that. I just thought if you get like 6 to 8 hours of sleep, you're Gucci. But I didn't know like from 11 to 4, like
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't know that. Who
Yeah.
told you that? What?
So her
Yeah.
name is Neek. Her page is High Frequency Tea.
Okay. She's like a holistic expert or
You
something?
have to follow her. You have to
Wow.
follow her. I
That's
mean,
new. Yeah, that's new.
I
I'm hearing.
I I've been taking her 14-day cleanse because you should cleanse your body every quarter and make
Mm,
sure that it's in alignment with your season change. So I've been
mm.
doing this probably my fourth, fifth time. I
Oh,
mean,
good for you.
it 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 really puts
Wow.
you in the place where you need to be.
I've never
So
actually done a cleanse. I always wanted to try fasting. I always wanted to try that, but I've never done like a cleanse before. That's really good. How
yeah,
you do that?
I would suggest you follow her.
Oh.
It's not even, and that's why the gut is the first mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you cleanse the gut, this becomes clearer. Your brain becomes
Mm,
clearer. So with her cleanse, it's really about being intentional with what you ingest, right? So no, you
mm,
don't need sugars. No, you don't need this. Circadian rhythm is really good. Um, you don't need these things to keep your body afloat, but there are
mm,
herbs that can keep you going, to give you energy, provide
mm-hmm.
you, with a clearer mindset. And I mean, I swear by me.
Wow, I
She's
need to follow
amazing.
her. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
she's powerful. She's powerful. She's powerful.
You have to drop her at the end of this.
I will. I will.
Put her on. Put her on. Now this is
No,
a
no brown
fun
sugar
question.
for me. Okay.
What are your favorite ways to self-care?
Ooh. Um, there's a few. I'm big on
Tell them
grounding.
all. Tell them all.
Okay, so I'm really big on grounding. Connecting to nature is really my number one,
Oh, you
right?
like nature? You like taking
I
like hikes and walks?
absolutely love nature.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Jimmy said, "Oh hell no, I guess it'll no brown sugar." So grounding is big for me. Journaling is big for me. Um, Meditating because I'm always in my head, right? So
Mm,
that's
yeah.
really big for me. Positive affirmations is probably number two. Um,
Yes, I'm big on that
not
too.
not just writing the positive affirmations, not just stating them, but seeing yourself in the mirror speak life back into yourself. That is where I
Hmm.
gain the power. I'm really big on affirming yourself in the mirror visually, stating these positive affirmations.
Right.
Um, Reading is big for me.
Self-help
Um,
books or just reading
yes,
in general?
yes. I love reading. I mean, I probably have like 7 books on my desk right now.
Dang.
Yeah. It's probably like, let me show you some because these are really good. All
But
right,
that
so
means you're very, like, very intelligent if you read a lot.
this is
The
one,
Color of Law. Mm. Wow. Female
the female brain.
brain. Wow.
I'll just, this will be my last one. You really want to know anything about mental health and how it shows up in your body and the importance of healing? This is number one.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So, I mean, there's a lot
That
of books.
last
I mean,
one,
it's
the power of keeping the power of your body keeping score. Is that what it said?
the body keeps the score. You have to get
Mm,
it because it
wow.
does. For years, I would go to the doctor, not even the doctor. I would go to the ER, right? I would find myself in the ER maybe every month. And I
What?
would have, I'm telling you, I would have these gastrointestinal issues. And every time I
Oh,
would go to the hospital, they look at me like, you're healthy, right? Your blood work is good, your ultrasounds are good, your x-rays are good. Like,
hmm.
we're not understanding. Next month will come. I mean, when I say excruciating pain, like excruciating pain, no one
Wow.
understood what was going on. And then I got into the somatic therapy and cognitive behavioral therapy and actually just taking the time for myself. I mean,
Hmm.
when I say like going from bloated to looking like I'm 6 months to my stomach going in,
Wow.
mental health
Wow.
is very deep. Um, and that's why I would suggest that everyone take that journey, regardless of how dark it is, regardless of how scary it is. Take that journey and facing your truth and your skeletons, right? Because after you do that, it's invigorating. Like you find
Yeah.
yourself feeling lighter, smiling more.
Self-reflection is so
Right.
important. Yeah, if because sometimes you have to be your own best friend. You have to know what's wrong with you. Why am I feeling like what's wrong with me? Why am I feeling this way? You have to self-reflect, and like you said, and that's one thing. And positive affirmations, I forgot to say this earlier. It's not just about like writing it down or seeing it. You actually have to believe it. Because if you're saying, you know, I am powerful. I'm a strong woman. I will achieve my goals. If you're just saying it, but you don't actually believe it, you're manifesting nothing. You're believing nothing. Your subconscious is not going to believe what you're saying.
Right.
So
Right.
and I'm big on that, when you say those positive affirmations to yourself, you write them down, whatever, how you do it, you have to believe that it's true already. You have to believe that it's true already for it to come true if it's not already
Right.
true.
And when I'm speaking to the students, because that is one of their biggest questions, how can I believe something that isn't there, right? And I use the
Yeah.
example as riding a bike. When you get on the bike for the first time, you're not immediately riding on 2 wheels. You're not having your hands up riding down the hill. There's
Yeah.
training wheels.
Training
You're
wheels.
going
Yeah.
to stumble. You're going to fall. You're going to feel like you can't succeed. But the act and the diligence of consistently doing it, you'll see that the training wheels fall off. You'll see that eventually you can put your hands up. And that's the power of manifestation and the affirmations seeping into your subconscious. Just
Right.
keep doing repetitiveness, right? Continuously doing it and speaking life into yourself. That's when it seeps into the subconscious, and then your body starts to follow what your statements are stating.
Yep.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
That was a great example. That was a great example. Really. Okay, so now this is a good one. How do you personally cope with stress? I know you're gonna have a good answer that I can probably
Um,
benefit from.
I would have to say
It can be something big or small, you know.
by
Yeah.
being brutally honest about how I'm currently feeling.
Mm,
And that is really it. As I think about me processing stress, dealing with stress, stress appearing in my life, the only thing that I found to be helpful for me and many of my clients is being honest. So let's say, for instance, my children is like, mommy, 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 right?
mm. Oh, being a mom is stressful. Oh,
Right.
you don't even have to. Yeah, and I
So,
don't have any kids. I just
you
know.
just
I know
know.
already.
So the
Oof.
thing is, how can I teach my children about showing up for themselves and being articulate when it comes to their emotions if mommy isn't doing it, right? So if
Mm,
it's, I don't feel well right now, or I just, I don't like that, or that hurt my feelings, or that wasn't nice, me being able to express myself helps me in a stressful situation.
right.
So you know how you spoke about saying no in an email, right?
Mm,
Um, if something appears or something happens and I feel like the load is becoming heavier for me when it comes to business, I have to be okay with responding back and saying, at the moment, this is not in perfect alignment for me. Or, I just don't feel that this is the best decision for me right now. Like being
mm,
honest about how I'm feeling allows me
yeah.
to deal with the stressors easier.
Right.
So
I
that's
agree.
that's that's what I would say. Like being honest and truthful about what I'm feeling and why I believe I'm feeling it, um, and also letting people know that's currently around me to not take it personal because it has nothing to do with you. I just need to process it, and then I'll make sure that I show up in a manner in which I should once it's done, right? But I
Right.
just need you to respect the time that I need for me to process it.
Right. I agree. The power of saying no, you guys. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like when you even if it's in your personal life, you know, even if it's not with business, if it's in your personal life, your relationship with others,
Right.
saying no and not feeling bad about it. And what did you say? What did you say? Power of saying no and adding a period. What did you say earlier? Got what you said.
No is a complete statement.
Is a
It's a
complete
complete
statement.
sentence. A
Right.
period is right after, and you do not need to explain anything moving forward.
Exactly. You said it so perfectly. It's powerful, and I know with being a mom, it's like times two,
Right.
like important to say no,
It
you
is.
know.
It is.
And with
And
you, I know just with you being a mom and a business owner, and you know, I just can't imagine how busy you are. Just those two things itself. Because me being a
right.
business owner, I'm busy as is, and I don't have any kids, you know. So I know for you it's equally important, it's like twice as important for you to say no and just
It
letting
is.
other people know what your boundaries are, you know, so you're
Right.
not spreading yourself thin.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
And my support system, I have to say that, like my sisters, um, like I have close friends. And speaking about mental health and the importance of boundaries is something that we've done very often. It's
Mm,
actually important for me to make sure that the people that are around me understand that so they can then show up for me and I can show up for them.
mm,
So when it comes to like if I'm going through if I'm having a stressful moment or if my friend's having a stressful moment, I can call my friend, not unpack, but I'll say, are you mentally available to receive what it is I have to say? My friends do it to me, I do it to them, right?
mm.
Um,
Wow.
and they'll say like no or yes, and I'll
Right.
just unload or unpack and express whatever it is that I'm going through. And they,
Mm,
once they finish listening to me, they'll ask like, do you want advice or did you just want to vent? Right? Because when
mm.
you're venting or you're expressing yourself, unsolicited advice, we really don't want that
To
or
hear
need
it, yeah.
that. So, just making sure that you have that system that is willing to be there for you, that you can vent in those stressful times. and also be ready to give you advice on how to move forward if you choose to receive that advice.
Mm, right. I agree. Yeah, I should try that with my friends, that method.
I mean, it not only does it stop you from being selfish with your load, um, it shows respect for the other person.
It
So,
does.
whether it's a text message or a call, we are always asking, do you have the mental capacity, right, to hear what I have to say? Or, are you mentally available? Because what if somebody else is going through something and they just haven't expressed that to you? And then now you're
Mm,
calling and you're unloading all of your baggage on them. I mean,
man, it's yeah. That and that's also emotional intelligence as well.
right,
Doing
right,
something like that.
right.
Now, next question. You kind
Okay.
of answer this naturally. You're answering the question so good, but are you vocal about your needs enough? You answered it already. Yeah,
Yes.
naturally.
Yes,
Yeah, you
ma'am.
said you have no trouble saying no. That's being vocal about your needs. Saying no when someone crosses a boundary,
Right,
saying, I don't like what you said, or I don't like what you did. Or if
right,
you feel you're not in the right headspace to go out with friends, saying,
right,
no, I'll stay home. No, that's okay. You guys go. That's
right.
that's being
And
vocal
it,
about your needs right there.
right, and it doesn't even have to just be no. Let's say, for instance, me and my husband are having a disagreement, right? For years, we would just clash, right? It's because we're not listening. We're just waiting for someone to stop talking so we can respond. Big difference, right? So
Right.
we would clash and clash and clash, and especially like with my childhood, I was always aggressive, right? Everything
Mm.
has to be like I have to make sure I'm protecting myself type of situation. But
Defensive.
now I'm very defensive.
Mm.
But now, I'll say something like, I don't like how that made me feel, or that wasn't nice, right?
Mm.
That in itself, being able to articulate that without feeling the need to be combative and
Mm.
actually, again, being honest about how you feel,
Yeah.
right? It allows you to humble the person, kind of shift the trajectory of the disagreement because it's really not about winning, it's about understanding.
Mm.
So
Right.
that, not just saying no, but I do find that being beneficial in my personal relationship as well because it's like you
Yeah.
have to ask yourself when you're having a conversation or a disagreement with someone, you have to ask yourself, how do I want to feel?
Mm.
How do I want to feel? And if
Yeah.
this is not assisting in how you want to feel, if you want to feel happy, then work towards that, right?
Yeah.
Um, if you want to feel joy, then work towards that. And you kind of have to restructure the conversation so that you can receive what you feel like you need to receive.
And all this is obviously easier said than done, guys. Like, like we tell the different tips and methods, but implementing that in your life, it is easier said than done. But once you do start doing it, it does become easier to vocalize those things.
It's definitely easier after you've practiced on yourself. And
Mm.
if you try to shift or change your relationship with someone else and you haven't done the work on yourself, then your boundaries will fall short. You
It
won't
won't
even be able
work.
to create the boundary, right?
Mm.
You won't be able to create the non-negotiables because you don't even know what your non-negotiables are because you haven't even tapped into yourself.
Right.
So you have to make sure that the internal work is something that you're always doing so you know what it is you like, what it is you don't like,
Don't like.
how you want to spend your time, how you refuse to spend your time. And once you
Yeah.
figure out who you are as a person to the core, then you can go outside of yourself and say, hey, This is what I like. This is what I deserve. This is what I don't deserve. And move forward with
Exactly.
those boundary settings. But you have to start with self.
Right. I agree with you. Ooh, that was this is like therapy itself, just this conversation.
Yeah, because
Oh
I
man.
really don't, and yes, it is easier said than done, but I don't want
It
to come
is.
from a place like it's impossible, right? And I also don't want people to think that they have to deflect in order for change. It's like, no, you have to go internal. You have to go
Mm,
inside and
mm,
work on you and understand who you are. And then once you do
yeah.
that, then it's easier.
It does become easier. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, now this is our final question.
Okay.
With the new year here, are there any positive changes that you want to make in your life? Any positive changes that you want to make in this new year?
Um, I would like to have like two abs.
Oh, oh, you want to
I like to
get
get
more
more,
like toned?
right. I want to get more tone, but that's it. That's
That's
it.
good. That's a good
Yeah.
like
That's a good positive
positive
change,
change you
right?
want to see. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that would be it. Toning up, and it's not even about like shedding weight from me before. I knew that that was always something I said. I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. But that came
Right.
from a very low vibrational state of
What
mind
do you mean?
because I want to
I
lose
mean,
weight now.
that's a
Like,
good thing though. Like,
yeah,
um,
if it's if it's with high vibrational thought. Like if I
right.
say that I want to lose weight because I want appease to someone, I want to lose weight because I'm comparing myself to
Oh,
somebody else's body type, or I want
mm-hmm.
to lose weight because I feel like I'm going to be loved more. Those
Then
are
it's
low
not good.
vibrational, right? So
Right.
it's not even about losing weight. It's about being my most healthiest. It's about
Your
being
healthiest
the
self.
greatest version, right, of myself.
Mm,
And then
mm,
I know by being the greatest version of myself, it will provide me with everything that I want.
right. Mm.
So to answer your
Ended it so
question,
perfectly. Because yoga, I actually took a yoga class in college. So I'm 28. That was literally like 6 years ago.
mhm,
Yoga, yoga is more of a breathing technique thing more than like physical fitness. But I hear that Pilates is really good. I mean, to get abs and toning up, that can be any exercise,
right,
cardio, Pilates, Zumba. It's just about getting your body moving, but
right,
you're definitely gonna have to get comfortable lifting weights because getting abs is not easy.
right. Yoga
Yeah,
is it can be very intense,
it can.
right? It can
Yeah.
be very intense. And a lot of people think that when it comes to yoga, it's like um, sitting downward facing dog, but it's really about applying your body weight for a certain amount of time so your blood flow can go in a manner in which it should so you can start losing the weight, right? So you can advance your flexibility. Like it can be really, really intense. I find
Yeah.
myself sweating more doing yoga than I do with cardio.
Whoa.
I'm not even
Wow.
lying. I'm I'm so
When
serious.
I took yoga, I don't think I ever, I actually did used to sweat. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
remember now.
it, it,
Um,
it can be really
yeah.
intense.
Oh man, that I would say the same for me. Bettering my physical health because I'm kind of slim, but I don't work out at
Mm-hmm.
all. So that's something
Mm-hmm.
I have to improve on, and that's also a good stress reliever too, you guys. I don't know if you know that. Working out,
Right,
being physically fit, that's one of the best stress relievers that us humans can do.
right, right.
So
I agree.
yeah,
I agree.
yeah. So those are all the questions, Nyeesha. Wow,
Yay!
you answered each one of them so good. I think I answered all the questions that anyone had in the chat. But if anyone has any questions before we close this out, I'm seeing if we missed anything from earlier. No, yeah. So Nyeesha, yeah.
Yes. Did I
Yeah,
answer
no,
them
there's no
well
more
enough?
questions. Yeah, so that was such a good chat with you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Tell people how they can find you, and you're
Um,
they see that you're live with me, so they can just follow you right now. But
right. So
if you want to drop
every,
like your business in the chat, if you want to
let
do
me
that.
just put my website.
That's a good idea. Wow, that was like a therapy
And
session.
okay, I think I spelled it right. So every
Cool.
handle, whether it's LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything is Nyeesha D.
Got it.
So all across the board. If you visit my
Cool.
website, you can gain access to my services, learn a little bit about me,
Mm,
um, how many years of experience I have in women's health and trauma release. Yeah,
cool,
so
cool.
yeah,
So you guys go check out her website and follow her. Yeah, Nyeesha, thank you for doing this for the ZenLuxCo.
you're very welcome.
You're the ninth episode, I believe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're the ninth episode. So yeah, thank you for supporting.
Yay!
Yeah,
Thank
you
you for
guys,
having
ZenLuxCo is a Black-owned business,
me.
obviously. Because a lot of people still don't know that. Yeah, it's like, what?
Really?
Yeah, and I have like my personal Instagram in ZenLuxCo's Instagram bio.
Uh-huh.
And people still reach out to me. Wow, you're Black owned? Like, what does that mean?
Wow.
It's kind of sad, yeah. But
That's a
yeah.
whole nother topic and
Oh,
discussion because, baby.
it's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It is a
I
whole
get it.
nother
You don't
subject.
even have to say anything. I get it. Yeah. So
Right.
thank you for having me. Oh, I see Toya, my therapist, so wonder. Thank you, Toya.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, it was great. It was
Yes,
great.
yes. So yeah, thank you, Nyeesha, and thank you for everyone that joined and watched this episode with Nyeesha and that tuned in, that asked questions. It's all very good to be interactive with these things. So yeah,
I'll see
I'm
you
definitely
around.
checking out your website, and I'll see you on Instagram.
All right. Bye, love.
Yes, bye, Nyeesha.